There we are. That's us live, and welcome to the tasting, Bothy Cliff. Looking forward to having you in tonight, Clark. Good to have you on as well.
Thank you.
Once again, we have this challenge by Cliff. He's going to explain it to us. We've got a little card that we have with information on it. So we'll let's see how we get on. Probably a bit of a disaster, to be honest. But let's hand over to you, Cliff. It's up to you, pal.
Well, it's quite straightforward. We've got 3 drams, numbers 1, 2, and 3. And as you'll see on the little card I've given you, there is an English whiskey in there. There is a grain whiskey in there. There's a 9-year-old whiskey in there. There's a bourbon in there. A bourbon finish. Sorry, not a bourbon whiskey, a bourbon finish. A 30-year-old whiskey.
Yeah.
And there's an Oloroso finish. So each dram has 2 correct facts. So you just have to say which two facts relate to dram 1, which 2 facts relate to dram 2, and which 2 facts relate to dram 3. And in the envelope is the answers, but we'll do that at the end.
I'm looking forward to this, but I'm not looking forward to making a fool of myself.
I'm used to doing that. I'm used to making a fool of myself, so I don't mind. And now the other thing I'll ask you, Cliff, with water, without water, what's your thoughts and suggestions on it?
Well, I mean, I generally don't put water in it. Certainly for a tasting, I would always try it without. And then if you feel it's, if you feel it's too hot or if you think it's too much, then add a little bit then. But I would never start with putting water in it.
I noticed you never put any percentages on your little envelope. So there was nothing in there that gave me a clue as to whether there were 41.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Now, and given that it says drink responsibly on the screen, all 3 whiskies are a little north of 50%, so they are strong whiskies.
That's cool. I'm happy with that. That's all right.
Yeah, they're all pretty strong. So yeah, so again, it's whatever your preference is. What you choose to add. Not Iron Brew.
You've not been naughty and stuck an Ian McLeod's in there. That means that I should know what it is, and I'm not going to know what it is.
No, I've not. There's no traps.
No traps. There's actually 3 traps at the moment in front of me.
I can see 3 traps. I can see 9 traps.
Well, yeah.
Very good. All right, then let's get into the first one. Then let's have a wee look at this first one. Lovely colour.
Yeah, so that's
why I asked, because this is very similar to a Glengoyne, and that's why I asked you. Were you trying to
pull a fast one? Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Now that is very similar to a Glengoyne. Right. Okay.
That is nice.
That has to be a bourbon finish. That's very much like a Glengoyne. I find that quite peary and pears and citrusy.
Yes.
That's a bourbon cask. That has to be a bourbon cask.
See, I think on the nose, I get quite a lot of like cereals and vanilla and maybe a little bit of tobacco and I did actually take notes on this one before, and I'd written grape skins, but I'm not getting that this time. I don't know why I'd written grape skins.
I'm getting that kind of fresh appliness to it, pear drops kind of.
Oh, definitely the pears and these kind of soft fruits.
And then there's that little hint of caramel toffee note just at the very end of it. And it's singeing my nose, so I'm going to say this is maybe about, I don't know, it's well into the 50s. I'm going to say, I don't know, 57 maybe.
It's well, I mean, it doesn't give anything away. So this one's 51.6.
Right.
But I don't think it doesn't sound like a 50% whiskey. I don't think.
I love that. That's lovely.
It is. It's very nice, aye. It's very nice.
Lovely on the nose. Very sweet on the nose as well. Anyway, Slange, guys.
Cheers. Yeah, Slange.
Looking forward to this.
Quite sweet. I get kind of like butterscotch and a kind of like sort of Christmassy spices.
Yeah. I was going to say
agree with that.
I was going to say a caramel, but butterscotch is a better.
I think this is very much similar to. It's a wee bit because it's a 51%. It's obviously that wee bit stronger, but this is very much like the Glengoyne 18-year-old.
I've not had
I've had it like that, and because that's what I'm going to go with, I'm going to stick a wee drop of water in that because I find that just a wee bit spicy on my
There
mouth.
is a spice to that, definitely. And
just
the water does soften that off a little bit.
I'm just finding it delightful.
It's good.
I like it.
Any thoughts on the? Is this English? Is it grain? Is it 9 years old? Is it a bourbon finish? Is it 30 years old? Is it done in Oloroso?
Definitely not in Oloroso.
I don't think so. I would go with you along with the bourbon, aye. That's
yeah, I mean that's not Oloroso, is it? The colour of it.
No,
it's not a chance. No.
It's actually with a little bit of water into it. It really does release it. It really does. It just breaks that surface tension and it changes the nose profile a wee bit. It becomes really a lot more toffee and caramel.
Right. Surface. I wasn't planning on looking on it, surface tension.
No, you're right. It's lost some of that apple note that I had and pear drop note,
aye,
and become really distinctly caramel and toffee. And a wee bit of maybe a bit of coffee at the back.
Yeah, like a milky coffee.
Yeah, it's lovely. That's lovely. Do you know what it's like? It's like a caramel latte. That's what it's like.
No, I can agree with that. I could agree with that. Have you tried? I saw Glengoyne have done a new dram in Virgin Oak.
The white oak, fabulous.
White oak, yeah.
Aye, American white oak, fabulous dram.
Have to try that.
Because they're always pretty sherried, the Glengoynes, they're always quite sherried, and it'd be interesting to try it.
We've done this really for the American market, to be honest with you. That whole part of the white oak, we've always had sherry casks and whatever, but now we've done a complete, range of it, and it's super. It's a lovely dram.
Yeah,
particularly nice with a wee chocolate. Anyway.
Yep, I'm enjoying this.
I'm going to now try and work my way through this. I don't think it's a 9-year-old, right? Okay. Because at that 51%, and what I'm getting, I just didn't get that as young as that. I don't think that's a young one, and it's no Oloroso. I'm definitely sticking with my bourbon now. I need to decide. I don't think that name can be a grain. If it's finished, now it could be finished in a bourbon cask, but that. So I'm now left with. I'm now left with. Is it a 30-year-old or is it English? And I don't know.
No. I'm inclined. See, but the colour of it, if you look at the colour of that compared to others, you would think that would be the grain because it's pale.
I get that.
It depends what it's finished in, doesn't it?
It depends what it's finished in. Exactly, it does. It does, aye. See, this is where you just make a fool of yourself here. And it could be English as well. Who knows?
But you remember we did a tasting before, and I think it was a Strathclyde I gave you, a sherried Strathclyde, and it was like the colour of the wall behind you, Clark. It was really dark. It was in a sherry cask, you know.
I'm going to cheat here. I'm only going to stick with my bourbon finish. I'm going to try another two, and then I'll be left with whatever I've got.
Well, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking as well. I'm looking at this more like a process of elimination.
This is a process. It definitely has to be a process of elimination. So I'm sticking with bourbon.
I would agree with that. I think it's a bourbon finish as well, and it could be a grain and it could be English, but
I'm not going to finish it yet. I'm going to leave that little bit in the bottom because I'm going to come back to it when I get there.
Aye, me too. I'd like to move on and see what the others do.
I'm hoping that I have one that I go, oh, aye, that's definitely tick, tick, that's me, and I'm finished. And I'm hoping that's the last one because it looks like an Oloroso finish.
It does, doesn't it? That looks like it should be the old Oloroso finish.
And I'm hoping it's a 30-year-old Oloroso. But anyway, that's the other thing. Right. So shall we move on to dram number 2?
I would like to do that.
Absolutely.
Yes. I would like to do that.
A middle coloured one?
Yes. Again. That could
Beautiful,
be
isn't it? A nice amber, a light amber colour.
Right, that's right.
Oh, right. That tells me right away when I knows that. I think I've had this before. I might have had this before.
You might have.
I'm ticking a box.
This is quite different. This is
very different.
Quite biscuity and quite figs and that kind of thing. It's.
I get like hot cross buns and marmalade on the nose.
That's buns and marmalade.
I get that marmalade because you've got that right orangey, zesty zinginess, which makes me think this is a single grain.
And this one punches in at 54%, this one.
Right, okay. The reason I think this is a single grain is I've got a Port Dundas single grain here, and it's very similar to that on the nose.
It's not a Port Dundas, but it may be similar, or it may not be.
I don't know, it could be English, for all I know. Right. Oh, that's lovely.
Got a good nose on it, the way it's lovely.
It smells nice, eh? It's just like a cookie. It's like a nice cookie.
Yeah.
Right.
You're getting that. You're getting the last of this one. You got the last 3 drams out of the bottle for this one.
Oh,
really?
Thank you very much. And it tastes absolutely phenomenal.
I'm going to try it.
And I'm not going to add water to this. The finish on this is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to suggest because of the. You said it's 50 what?
54.
This is a 30-year-old.
Do you think?
And the reason I'm saying that is because of the finish on it. It is so smooth, so light. It's been in a cask. It's taking on all that stuff. I mean, it's taking everything onto the cask influence on it. This has to be the oldest dram. I've not tasted the last one, but that's my thought.
Right.
It's got a really lovely oak spice on it, hasn't it?
No, it's lovely. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think right. This could be the grain. Right.
I wanted to say to you, tell me what that is, because that is absolutely phenomenal.
It's lovely, aye. But I think if you want this to be the old grain, I think it could be.
I get like red cola cubes. A bit of nutmeg, and there's loads of oak spice in it as well. Really, it's really good.
It's brilliant.
There's an oaky vanilla-ness to it at the end of it as well. It's just I love that. That's well up there.
It's a nice It's anaesthetised the front of my mouth here. I think you could drill my teeth just now. I wouldn't feel it.
I was on a tasting a couple of weeks ago, and one of the guys was saying it, and he said, "This tastes like Bonjela."
Bonjela.
I can't feel my mouth, you know.
It's certainly. I mean, that's a wee while now since I drank that. I still feel a wee bit kind of like it's a wee bit kind of anaesthetised.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not adding water to this one. I'm letting that one sit as it is. And I'm going to, there's quite a lot left in this one. I am not going to go down through this one too quickly.
Yeah.
That is.
You take that one to bed with you tonight, Willie. That'll keep you.
Well, that might be a thing. Oh.
Good, eh?
That's lovely.
Aye. That for me is a pick of the Drams so far.
That must be high in alcohol because my mouth's numb.
No, that's 54.
54, Clark. 54%.
My mouth's numb.
You can feel it across the top of your mouth there. You can drill your teeth anyway, Clark. They're all false. Your teeth are no feeling then.
That's why you can't feel them.
They're not all false.
All right. Maybe they're no all false, right?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Dram number 3.
Oh, we're moving on.
Wow. Right. Okay.
Because we can come back to them if we've not finished them. We can.
Well, that seems reasonable to me.
This one. This is the strongest of the 3. This is 56.9.
Right.
Oh.
And look at the colour of that.
It's
I know.
beautiful.
I would hazard a guess. I'd hazard a guess that this has been in an Oloroso cask.
You would guess this is the one, wouldn't you?
I'm just going to tick that box just now because I think that's. There's a giveaway in that one. I'm going to laugh because we're going to get to this and he's going to go, oh, that's actually the bourbon one. And I'm going to go, there's you mean a right nuttery yourself then.
Absolutely, we're going to be completely wrong.
Whoa, that's not what I expected. No.
That's strange.
I'm now confused. I'm going, that can't be Oloroso.
I feel like I'm camping again. It's like
you're blowing up a Lilo.
Blowing up that Lilo again. That's what it smells like.
It has got that beach ball kind of.
Aye, that's right. A rubbery beach ball type.
Isn't it? Aye. Uh-huh. Oh, that's.
Well,
that would throw me.
I'm going to fling another one in here because if that's an Oloroso cask, which I believe it is by the colour of it, and the fact that I'm not getting any sherry, that's your 9-year-old. That has to be. It's not been in the cask long enough. It's been long enough to colour it, but not long enough to have a major effect on the drink. But I'll tell you once I've tasted it. That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Let me taste it.
But I get that beach ball note, that Lilo note is great, and it's definitely a lot of red fruits in there as well.
Yeah.
We taste it.
There's plenty of that red fruits. It's obviously been done in a European oak cask, that Quercus robust cask, that's given it that kind of spicy note to it. Finished in a sherry cask, but I don't think it's been long enough in the sherry cask. So this is me, a 30-year-old. You didn't give an age to the first one, so I don't know. That's where I'm kind of confused.
I'm confused that one of these could possibly be English.
I actually get. Well, there's one of them English. I know that we'll still tick that box.
That's what's throwing me.
Do you know, I'm getting.
This is a strange one.
It's like tomato sauce on my nose.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There is a sort of a
Tudor tomato sauce crisps. When you used to get the Tudor tomato sauce crisps.
I've seen you with tomato sauce in your nose. You don't look like that.
There is definitely a sort of a ketchup kind of. I know.
Ketchup, you feel like.
That's a good. Yeah, this is the new bottle from Heinz.
Oh, the English one. This must be the English one then, because it's got Heinz in it.
It's finished in a tin can.
There's something on my nose, and I can't quite pick up what it is.
This is a strange one, isn't it? It's pleasant, but it's
pretty funky.
It is, isn't it? Aye. Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to add a little bit of water to this to see if this actually does anything for me or for it, because it's not the strength of it. The strength's fine. I'd quite happily drink it without water. Right.
But it is quite. I mean, the flavour's quite intense, isn't it? I mean, it is pretty.
Absolutely.
Now, when you add a wee drop of water, you begin to pick up that molasses nose on it.
Yeah.
It's kind of lost that ketchupy nose. I've now also got this kind of nippiness in my nose as well. Oh, Clark and I's cameras have dropped, but they'll come back. And there's a wee drop kind of meat, honey-ish coming to the back of that now.
Yeah.
Do you know the other thing I get? This is going to sound mental.
Go on then.
Germaline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, aye, but that kind of goes along with that kind of rubbery kind of antiseptic-y.
It is. It's got that, but that's strange because you normally associate antiseptic with a West Coast type malt.
Mm-hmm.
You would pick them. I like it. It's lovely.
Mm.
It is nice, aye. Uh-huh.
Right. Oh, you get a bit. There's a longer finish when you add a wee drop of water to it. A right spicy, gingery note to it, right chilly heat to it as well on your tongue. I actually prefer it with just a wee drop of water because it's actually giving me that mouthful.
Yeah.
It's a really nice mouthful.
Yeah. No, I'd agree.
The thing I would consider with that, and I know it can't be, is has this been distilled using a worm tub?
Not sure.
Right? Because
I'll have a look.
And you have a wee look, and the reason I'm asking that is because of that mouthy, leathery feel that I'm getting. It's very, very, it's coating my mouth and coating my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And that would suggest to me that it's gone down through a worm tub rather than through a condenser. Just to give you that when we look at distillation, the stills give us the flavour we're looking for. The worm tub gives us the texture that we're looking for. And the texture of this has got a lovely, oily, mouthy feel once I've added the water to it. So that's changed stuff for me.
See, I might be wrong, but I don't think this distillery has worm tubs. But I might be wrong.
No, that's all right. Where is it?
Scotland, England.
Well, by elimination, right, I'm going to go, this is an Oloroso, so I've ticked the bottom box.
Okay.
And I've said, because it's not got as much sherry in it as I think it should have, I've made that a 9-year-old. So I'm going sherry, a young sherry.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying number 3 is a 9-year-old Oloroso?
Yes, aye.
Right.
I think probably. I wonder, have you thrown us the side one here and made this is the English, because it is really quite different.
Well, that's up to you, Clark. You tick the boxes that you want to tick. Don't take it from me. I could be completely wrong.
I'm more likely to be completely
we're
wrong.
both out of our depth here. We're both out of our depth here, to be honest with you. So
I can tell you like
I'm going to
it.
go with that. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go. There's a wee peatiness in this as well.
There is, yeah.
I'm left with a wee bit of smoky peat at the end of it, and
Well, we're
it's
not going
really-
English anyway. If we're going for
it's driving me mental because I'm getting that little bit of peat. Do you know? It's like an Isle of Skye blend that I've got.
I see what you're saying.
This is messing with my head, man. This is mental. Right. I'm stopping. I'm going to right. I've said what I've said. Didn't overthink it, Wally.
Right. So what are you thinking then? So you're saying number 3. You're saying 9-year-old Oloroso.
9 Oloroso. Aye.
Number 2.
I don't think there's enough sherry in it yet for it to have been in a cask long enough to influence it.
Okay.
I agree with that. My only thinking is I don't think this is a green one, but I'm wondering if you've been fly here and this is the English one, because it doesn't seem like it should be. But
he only said there was 2 in each, Clark. So, and this is my problem, because I could agree with you and I could tick these 3. I could tick English 9-year-old Oloroso, but Cliff specifically said there's
just
only
two right answers for each time.
So I can't put my English one on this.
Well, I see what you're saying. Right.
So we could go halvers here, and you could go English Oloroso, and if I go Oloroso 9-year-old, hey, we're quids in, son. One of us
There's no prize.
will be right. One of us will be right.
Well, none of this could be right. What are you talking about?
That's true. I suppose so. Well, you're spot on there, and then we could both be wrong. But anyway, probably both wrong anyway. It doesn't make any difference.
Right. So there's only 2 of these things that's true about this whiskey.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Right. I see what you're saying.
And one of them is it's an Oloroso.
I reckon it's all right. I reckon you're right. I reckon this is the young one out of the 3. But
Right, go on then.
Right, so you're saying a 9-year-old Oloroso for number 3.
I think
I've left a wee drop for me to go back to, because I like that. That's nice.
So I need to go back and taste them again. Let me go back to the start.
I'm back at number 2.
Okay, right. I'll join you at number 2 again then.
I've already scoffed number 1, but I know the answers, so.
We know you've not got any left in the other end, so you can go and pour yourself a number 1 again if you wanted to.
No, it's gone. No, that one's gone as well.
Oh, is it? Right. Now,
although this one, there was plenty in it when I poured you the drams, but I made quick work of this one, the first one.
made a hole in it, did you?
Aye, it didn't last long.
I'm going to go with this as a grain.
So is that number 2?
Yes. Only because, and again, for me, it's the flavour of this one. As I said, it reminds me of my Port Dundas that I've got. It's a lighter. It's lighter on my nose.
It's a really nice dram. That number 2, it's great.
I think this could be the old grain. That's what I think.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Clark. I think this one here, although the colour maybe not be the thing that gives it away in its age, I just think the fact that it's 50 odd percent, and you can drink it like a bottle of water. I can understand why you knocked this back really, really quickly, Cliff.
Yeah, it's super.
I think that was very selfish of you, because I think Clark and I would have loved to have another dram.
It's brilliant. I really like that one.
I wish I had more. I wish I had more of it.
Yeah, that's good. No, I think this is the old grain. That's what I'm
ask
going for.
you a question? I'm going to fling this at you. Are these independent bottlers?
Two of them are independent bottlers.
Right.
That could be another. That could be another question. You can guess which one isn't.
The fact that you said to me you can't get this one, or you've not got, I think this could be an independent bottling of something.
The second one.
The second one.
The second one's an independent bottler.
An independent. I wonder, when you said to me you've not got any more of it left and it's hard to get, I wondered if that was the case. That when you said that, my first thought is this is an independent bottler.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not even going to finish that.
It's lovely. It's really nice.
I'm going to leave that to come back to. That's my favourite. I'm going to score that one. I'm going to score them. The last one I actually like, and I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. I think that's the best dram. That is an absolute stoker.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
We're over there. That leaves us.
That leaves you with an English bourbon finish.
An English bourbon finish. What's it tell you?
I've not really got a clue. I'm now that I've let that sit, I've got water in it. It's like American cream soda.
Yeah, lovely.
It's amazing.
Right, so by a process of elimination, we've got an English bourbon finish.
Well, if you can do the reveal. If I can read it out, or you can open the envelope because the answer's written in the envelope.
Oh, we want to open the envelope. Where's my knife?
I like that.
You've got a knife.
We've had a couple of English ones. Well, 2 or 3, in fact, which have been quite good. And I would say this is quite similar. I think this could be the English one. Right, we're opening the packet. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
I've just run a knife through it. Now, I have heard so much about this first one.
Yeah.
I've seen so many posts on it. I've seen so much information on it, and this is the first time I've tasted it. And I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I know, because I loved that. I thought that's a great dram.
Yeah, the first one is from Bimber.
From London.
Bimber Distillery. It's an English distillery. I think they're in London. And that was an ex-bourbon small batch 2021 bottling. It's a no age statement, so there's no age on it. So you're spot on. It's an English bourbon finish.
I mean, honestly, for a non-age statement, this is a great dram.
It's lovely. It is,
yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what does a bottle of that cost us?
I'm not sure. I got it in an auction, and I got it really cheap. I got it in an auction for about 35 quid, I think.
Oh wow! I mean, that's every penny's worth.
Yeah, but retail price would be a bit more than that. But let me just check.
Even so, I mean, that's worth easily 45, 50 quid.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's 90. I'll go. It's not worth that.
Let me see if I can find a bottle on. Yeah, so you'd probably get a bottle for about 60 quid, 65 quid online. But as I say, I went on I just saw it in an auction. It was at 30 quid. It was about an hour to go, and I thought I'll go for 35, and I got it. So
to be fair, prices have really gone up over the last few years. So the prices are quite overinflated just now. So 60 quid. Maybe a wee bit much for a non-age statement, to be honest with you. But now I maybe wouldn't have went out and bought that at that price. But see,
Yeah.
now that I've tasted it, I don't think you can go wrong with that. That's a lovely dram.
Yeah.
That's,
No,
that's
they do
lovely.
some really good stuff. But Bimber do some really nice drams.
You know, I've seen them at a few whiskey tastings and you know, whiskey events recently. They've been out
Yeah.
quite a bit promoting themselves. So I must admit, if I'm ever at anything, I see them, they've got a stand, I would be going and want to try some of their other stuff. So
Definitely.
that's really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
No, it's good. And then the second one is a Cameron Bridge grain, and it was a single cask, and it was bottled by Little Brown Dog Spirits.
Right.
And the bottle was called Wee Brun Coo. I'm just trying to think if you'll be lucky to get that anywhere now, I think. It was a collaboration between Little Brown Dog Spirits and a guy called David Sturck, who owns a shop down in the Borders. He's a independent bottler.
Yeah.
And it's like a Cameron Bridge. So that was like 45 quid when it came out.
Really?
But you might get. I'm just saying, I've seen one there, and somebody got it for 80 quid. Somebody's got it for 80 quid. I'm pretty sure I got it for about 50 quid.
I'm going to try something. I'm going to go into my what do you call it, Scottish Malt Whisky Society.
Yeah.
Thing, and see if they've got anything that's by Cameron Bridge.
Well, this was actually, I've just found the Little Brown Dog Spirits. So it was a 1992 single grain. They were selling it was 80 quid when it came out. So I was wrong on the price, but it's just great. I mean, it's a really nice.
It's lovely, eh? It really is, eh?
I've got the note. Actually, their notes. So their notes say hot cross buns. Did I say that? That's it. Fresh figs and Werther's Originals on the nose.
Right. Yes, I could get that. Yes, I could go with that.
Rhubarb and custard, cherry lips, and Normandy butter. What's Normandy butter?
I have no idea.
And then ginger and nutmeg and rose on the finish. It's great. I mean, it's a really nice grain. I think it's just solid. It's great.
It certainly is. I'm just seeing if I've got anything here that I can add to this.
And the last one was this.
Yes.
Oh, Scottish Malt Whisky Society. Woo!
It was a Ben Nevis.
Really?
A 9-year-old Ben Nevis in an Oloroso finish. And it had it was an ex-bourbon hogshead, and it was finished in a first fill Oloroso. So I think you're right, Bill. It's been dumped in the Oloroso, probably not for very long.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not been long enough.
It's a lot of fresh sherry, but it's not really aged in it. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I must have been going back to it now.
There's not many.
I know, going back to it now, it really has got a lovely caramel toffee nose to it. Now that it's been sitting, I've had a wee drop of water to it, released it out a wee bit, and it's nice. But it's called when you taste it.
Rabbit hole.
Pardon?
A cinematic rabbit hole.
Oh, that's what it's called, is it?
Yeah.
I love the names that you come up with it.
Yeah. This one says we get explosions, car chases, crooks in leather jackets smoking cigars before the firefighters save the day. I mean, it is a really crazy.
Isn't it?
Crazy old dram. This I really like it, but it's it's pretty interesting.
I remember when I had the bizarre barbecue that you gave me.
Yeah, that's great.
No, that was a mental dram. So, I do like that. That's it's nice.
But see, this is the thing. You actually said that kind of it's like a West Coast, and you know, Ben Nevis, right? You're not far wrong. And Ben Nevis has always got I find it's always got something really funky going on. There's always something, you know, really interesting in a Ben Nevis dram.
It's just that little smoky hint at the back.
Yeah.
It reminds me a wee bit like a Ben Romach, because it's got that wee hint of peat smoke at the finish of it.
Yeah.
But that's been a fabulous night. I've kept this one. I've not let this one go. Since I've got you on, how did you get on? Have you tried the French one I gave you?
No, I've still got them. I've not had a chance. But I've got the French one, and you gave me the German one as well. So I've not tried them yet.
Yes.
But I've got a couple of
French and German one there. You got a French and German one there, Clark? Did you drink them?
I have. I've got. There's the German one anyway.
Right, come on then.
Well, you had the French one. You and I tasted the French one.
Right, have we got enough time to do the German one? Well, have the German one, Clark.
Yeah, I'll need to do something about these. Well, I could put it in that wee glass there. It's not a wee one, but I suppose I could put it in there.
It doesn't matter how big the glass doesn't need to be very big. I love the bottle. The bottle looks like a still.
So what was that? Is that the St. Killian?
St. Killian, isn't it?
Yes.
That one?
Is that right? St. Killian, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So
are we doing it?
This is lovely. Yeah, we're going to do it. Let's do it. We've had a good night. Oh.
Right, hang on. I need a glass. There you go.
Because we can, since we're on.
Yeah, fine.
So 53.9%. It's lovely. I just love the bottle because it's like a still. It's got that lovely slender neck to it.
You've got an age for this one?
An age? Oh, I can't tell you what age it is.
How do you know? Because you didn't know.
I didn't know German. It's an on-age statement.
Right.
So there you go. What's this? So it's quite it's a bit like it's quite orangey actually in the colour.
Yes. The colour is quite amazing. It's like a tangerine colour.
Yeah, yeah.
I promise you, I've not given you a cough bottle or anything.
Right.
On the nose.
Oh.
Whoa! I mean, that's crepes.
Oh, that's. Oh, we've just driven through a farm or something.
It's really. I mean, it's like ashy smoke and farmyard.
I think you are going to be very, very surprised when we do this.
I'm surprised already. It smells like silage.
Maybe I should have went off our live tasting here. Well, maybe they're doing St. Killian's any favours. Anyway.
No, but look, I mean, it's not on. I mean, I've had lots of drams where you get that sort of farmyard kind of smell. It's not, you know, it's just.
What should you do?
It is, eh?
It's like I've just got visions of my mum rolling down the window and saying, "Breathe that in, boys. It's good for you."
Yes, it's good for you. It's good for your health. Get that into your lungs. Now let's have a wee taste of Drams. Slans, gents.
Cheers.
It's really charry. It's like really sort of charred wood. It's like.
Oh, it tastes so much better than it smells anyway.
That's because you're not blowing up a lilo.
There is a kind of burnt taste there, aye, isn't there?
I love this dram. I think it's so different. There's orange peel in there. There's that smoky burnt notes that you get.
Aye.
It's like your marmalade you mentioned earlier on, Cliff.
Yeah. What else am I getting in there? That's actually reminds me a wee bit. Sometimes you get like a peated Highland, like an Ardmore or something like that.
Yes, aye.
It's got a similar sort of. It's kind of a bit like white pepper on the finish.
Yes, I get that.
But
I'll tell you that it's matured in the casks, and the casks are kept in a prisoner of war camp in Germany. In an old prisoner of war camp in the bunkers. Aye.
All right.
Yeah,
So what kind of cask is it then?
It's in a. They're in a bourbon cask.
Bourbon.
There is a sort of sweetness
full bourbon cask with a wee bit, and this is a peated version of it. We had them at the distillery, or maybe 2 months back. The distillery, or the town, is twinned with Falkirk. Yes, aye. And these guys came over to meet, obviously, our mayor and join us here. And then after they had finished, they came to the distillery. I got to meet these chaps. I took them on a tour around the distillery. And when we had finished that, they then gave me a bottle of this to take home. So it's a fabulous dram.
Is it? Is a name on the bottle?
St. Killian's. Yep. It's about £28 a bottle.
Wow.
Really?
Aye. Yep. Right. And if you want to, see if you add just a wee drop of water to that, not much, and wait till you see the difference it makes and the change in the influence in it.
Have they brought any water with me? The next time I need to remember to bring water with me. I need water in this room. It's too far away from the kitchen.
Well, I'm too far away.
I was going to say you're in Scotland, just stick it out the window.
There'll be a cloud passing. There'll be a cloud passing in 2 minutes. You'll get a bit of rain, particularly in Madison.
That's a fair point, aye. We're a bit nearer the clouds here.
See with a bit of water, the nose actually, it's like a first aid kit. It's like sticking plasters.
It goes to that Germaline kind of thing. Yeah. Germaline for a German thing, but I didn't mean it like that. That was the main.
German lead.
German leader. Very good. So
you've got that kind of Germaline sticking plaster type nose. It's very, very much that whole kind of antiseptic type that you would get. Not quite TCP, it's not quite as strong and potent as that, but it's definitely got that flavour to it.
Do you know, when I put the water in the palate, I tell you, I'm not sure I could describe it exactly, but it's like, it reminds me of, do you remember like when you had sparklers at bonfire night?
Right.
And it's just gone out.
Fumes it came for it. Yep.
It's just gone out.
Very good.
Slightly sulphuric, slightly eggy, slightly.
Yep, get that.
Very good.
So it's 53.9%.
Say that again? 53.99.
53.9.
That's interesting. I mean, if I'm honest, I'm not sure I would rush out and buy a bottle, but as you say, less than 30 quid. Can't complain about that.
No. And as I said, it's nice for us to try different drams. I mean, I would never have considered having a German dram. I might have never considered having the French dram that I bought if you hadn't set me the challenge to find one when I was out there, Cliff. So, pardon me, those kind of things are just, which makes us just that wee bit different.
I've picked up a couple of French drams. I haven't opened them yet, but once I've opened them, I'll zip it round.
It's nice to know. Don't try and sneak them into a blind tasting. It's
Maybe.
Wait. I will. Clark and I will organise another blind tasting for us.
That'd be great.
We will supply the drams, and then we can sit and have a laugh at our end.
Oh, that's good.
No, this was excellent, and I've actually surprised myself, to be honest with you. Clark will be surprised. I would be surprised as well, and I think if you had made us at the start when we went to number 1 and said no, you need to tick 2 boxes now, I don't think we'd have done as well as we had. I think getting that advantage of being able to go through all 3 of them, come back and then say, right, I think that's that and that's that, really enabled us to do it. So no, it was brilliant. I'm really impressed with that Bimber small batch thing though. I think if I'm ever down that way, I'll be looking for something.
Yeah, I believe they do. I believe you can go. I mean, I think you can go and visit the distillery and stuff if you're down in London, you know. But the thing is, it's one of those distilleries that they tend to do a lot of very small batch bottles, and they tend to, a lot of people collect them, so they're quite hard to get. But that ex-bourbon batch, I think, it's quite widely available, quite easy to get, and I think it's a series. So if you just keep your eye on it, you'll probably get one, you know.
That's for your wee brown coup. That Cameron Bridge, I like that as well.
That's great, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, 1 and 2. I mean, I couldn't have separated them. I gave them both 9 out of 10. And I've actually still got a wee drop of that one left. I've not finished that yet. I'm going to go back to that once I've got rid of this. I shouldn't have had the peated one, to be honest with you, because I know when I go back to that, it's not going to be the same. But
there you go.
But,
brush your
I need
teeth
to see
in the morning.
for my breakfast. Well, I mean, that's the thing. When you have both been on the Rosebank tour, and we talk about our 4 drams a day that you get.
Well, we're just the right thing then.
Aye, well, the first dram you got was at 7:30 in the morning. You got it at 7:30 just as a wee loosener, just to make sure you were well oiled. Aye, you were oiled. You were well oiled to get ready to get started. And then the next dram you'd got would be about 10:30 when you had your coffee break. And then back in the day, most folk went home for their lunch. They didn't have canteens and stuff like that, and you all lived local, so they would all nip home, and they would take a dram home with them, and then they would have another wee dram at lunchtime, and then you would get one again in the afternoon, maybe about 3 or 4 o'clock, just to make sure you had enough energy to finish off the shift that you were doing. So, and again, so that's kind of how it went at Rosebank. But if you've ever been to Glengoyne, you'll know about the teapot dram.
Ah, yeah, and that's a lovely bottle as well.
Aye, and it got to the stage where the boys couldn't drink their whiskey, so they poured it in the teapot. So they had that. I know the boys would go, well, we can't drink that, we'll get in the teapot. And so therefore, over the day, that teapot got filled up, and then they would go in maybe for at lunchtime, and they would say, "Cup of tea, lads," and they would pour the teapot dram out at lunchtime, right? And so the teapot dram was born, which is fabulous. I love the stories like that. And so now there's a new teapot dram. The 2 lads who were involved in that have spent time at Glengoyne nosing and tasting whiskies to come up with a new teapot dram, which you'll find is only available at Glengoyne. If you're actually ever through there and you want to buy it, you can buy the teapot dram. It's all 10-year-old drams that actually get you to it. But what's a belter? It really is nice, I know. So these
it's a real sherry bomb, isn't it? I mean, it's like
it's a real sherry bomb because it's all these sherry casks. It's just magic. Yeah. So I just keep an eye out. I'm going to try and get myself a wee teapot dram for my collections.
Yeah, I need to try the new one though, the oak one. I think that sounds pretty interesting. I'm kind of, because the thing is,
Yeah.
I find I'm not a massive sherry fan. I like sherry with peat. I like sherry with a sort of funky, like West Coast dram. I mean, but and that's why I think, you know, to try a Glengoyne that isn't heavily sherried, you know, it'd be, you know, it's maybe a bit more true to the distillery character, you know, to the spirit, and I think it'd be quite interesting to try it.
Just replying to there's a guy sent us a message on our page, so I'm just messaging him back.
On YouTube.
Right, before we do anything else, I'm going to end this live stream. I'm YouTube, so anyway, folks, that's for us this evening. I know we've taken a wee bit longer, nearly an hour into it, but it's been a great night. We've had a fabulous time. So let us just say goodbye for Cliff and Clark.
Slans.
And bye-bye for me. And I'll end our live stream now.
Good night.